What happens when a river becomes unstoppable? In the spring of 1927, after months of relentless rain, the Mississippi River broke through levees across 7 states. The water surged with terrifying force, submerging 27,000 square miles, an area nearly the size of South Carolina. Entire towns vanished underwater. It was the most destructive river flood in U.S. history, and it didn't just wash away homes, it exposed the cracks in America's social and political foundations. The flood displaced over 600,000 people, most of them poor and black. Makeshift refugee camps sprang up along levees, where conditions were dire. In some camps, black residents were forced to work at gunpoint, rebuilding levees to protect white-owned land. The Red Cross provided aid, but segregation ruled even in disaster. The flood didn't just destroy, it revealed the brutal inequalities baked into the American South, sparking outrage and calls for justice that would echo for decades. Politicians saw opportunity in the chaos. Then Secretary of Commerce Herbert Hoover took charge of relief efforts, using the disaster to boost his image ahead of the 1928 presidential election. He promised aid and fairness, but behind the scenes, he cut deals with Southern elites to maintain the racial status quo. Hoover's actions during the flood helped him win the presidency, but also planted seeds of distrust among black voters who would later shift their political allegiance. The flood's aftermath led to sweeping changes in how America managed its rivers. The federal government took control of flood control, launching massive infrastructure projects like levees, spillways, and dams. The Army Corps of Engineers became a dominant force in shaping the Mississippi's path. But these efforts also displaced communities and altered ecosystems. The 1927 flood taught America that controlling nature comes at a cost, and that cost is often paid by the most vulnerable. The Mississippi flood of 1927 wasn't just a natural disaster, it was a national reckoning. It exposed racial injustice, reshaped federal policy, and shifted political power. Its legacy lives on in the levees that line the river and in the stories of those who survived. Today, as climate change brings more extreme weather, the lessons of 1927 feel more urgent than ever. When the waters rise again, will we be ready, or will history repeat itself?